I'm Elizabeth Rimmer. I am white British and I have brown hair and I'm wearing a green top. Um, and I'm wearing two hats today. I work for Law Care. We're a charity that support and promote mental health and well-being throughout the legal community in the UK. But I'm also just a brand new champion for neurodiversity in law, which is a network that's seeking to raise awareness and support and promote neurodiversity and challenge the stigma that's around people who think differently. So I'm wearing that hat as well. And as Savannah went through in her presentation, there's so many networks in the law championing different issues and concerns. And neurodiversity in law is one of those newer groups that's probably been around now for about a year. So to talk to you a little bit about mental health and well-being, as Savannah's already mentioned, that the Bar Council have been running a fantastic program called Wellbeing at the Bar, and really raising awareness and promoting why mental health and well-being is really important for anybody practicing law. And beyond the importance of mental health and well-being to us as individuals, I think we all know why that matters. But legal work, as you've already been picking up, it can be a very highly pressured environment, and it can be challenging for people to speak up and say, I'm struggling with something. There's a lot of stigma around speaking up about our mental health concerns in the legal sector for fear that we will be excluded or discriminated against, or will be seen as weak or not good enough. And that silences people from speaking up. And it's really important that we challenge that stigma. And there's a lot of really positive work going on now to really look at that and encourage greater openness and speaking up about mental health. And many chambers and law firms are now adopting and promoting well-being initiatives to raise that awareness and encourage people to come forward. So at Law Care, we are a charity and we've been going for almost 25 years. And I think, particularly at the moment as we're coming out of hopefully the pandemic, but we're in this merging into this post-COVID decade, I think there's a heightened awareness around mental health and well-being because people perhaps who haven't experienced difficulties have done over the last 18 months, or they've seen other people experience them. So there's a greater perhaps understanding and recognition of the concerns. But those challenges have been around for a long time. I just think we're speaking up about them more, but they are not new concerns in the law. They've been here for a while. And what we provide is emotional support. So we provide a place for anybody who's concerned about their mental health, or they're struggling with something at work, or they're feeling the pressure or feeling overwhelmed. They can contact us and speak to somebody else who is a legal practitioner and just have an opportunity to share what's concerning them. We don't have a sort of magic wand that's going to fix problems, but what we can do is help people work out what steps they need to take to resolve the concerns that they're experiencing and find reassurance that, there are many people experiencing difficulties and you're not alone. And that first step to help is really talking to somebody. And it's particularly important, I think, in the early stages of your legal career. It can be a tough journey into the law, is that there's quite a lot of pressure around passing exams, the competitiveness around getting many pupilages or then getting a position in chambers. And there can be quite a lot of setbacks that come your way. And so recognizing that there may be times where you're finding that difficult and knowing that that's not necessarily an unusual thing. That's not just something about you. That's something many people may be feeling, and knowing that there is help and support out there. So it's really important, particularly if you're studying, is your college or university will offer services and support, is to go forward and seek those supports. And if you are neurodivergent, you may be able to have some adjustments for sitting your exams, adjustments for when you go for interviews. So if you tell people about that, then you're able to get that help and support to be able to be at your best with that help. So it's important to speak up and find the support that's out there. Likewise, when you get into practice, we've just done a large piece of work in law care about working practices and culture in law. And there are some challenges around that. But what is a positive is there's a growing recognition that we need to start doing things differently. And all the networks that we've been talking about this morning really demonstrate that there's a huge sort of movement now and groundswell of commitment to really trying to improve that culture in law so that it's more inclusive and that we attract and retain a wide range of people in our profession. Because ultimately, and perhaps it sounds a little lofty, but the legal sector is here to uphold the rule of law, advance the administration of justice every single day. Things that often we take for granted really rest on the bedrock of our legal system and the people that work within that. And in order to meet the needs of a wide range of consumers of law, we need people from a wide range of backgrounds and experiences so they have that connection. And people feel, we reflect the society that we serve. And I think there is a real push now with a lot more commitment than perhaps there has been in the past towards that. And another area I just wanted to pick up on was mentioned around soft skills. And I think traditionally in legal education, these sorts of skills are not really taught and they're not massively valued. But that's beginning to change because in the sort of 21st century workplace, especially post-COVID, whether you're at the bar or you work in another sector, those sort of soft skills, which I don't really think are soft, I think they're skills that are so important in the workplace, that ability to communicate and empathize with other people is a really important skill. So working to develop those skills through your legal education and training, I think can be really helpful for you when you get into practice. So I just really want to say is that mental health and well-being is important. It's something that should underpin everything we do in the legal sector, not just be seen as a separate issue. It's something that should be holistically regarded. And that if you ever find yourself feeling overwhelmed or finding things tough, is just put your hand up for that help that's out there. And there are many networks and support organizations that are there to help. Thank you.